right. Thank you. Thank God for the G in it. Keeping me calm. What happened to the ching? And don't I get like a little drum at the end? That's why I took the sip.
It played. I played the music.
Damn it! I got excited. Did I sit too long? All right. This is Munchies with Max. We took the week off last week. We've been kind of on and off. We've been working on a bunch of stuff. This week, we got a packed week of stuff, information, stuff coming out, good workouts, going into kind of our taper or end of season. And we'll take it a little bit easy next week. And then back to the whole Hakuna Matata of life and getting prepared for next summer and going through the winter, bulking up. And we'll talk about our cyclical cycle programming at MaxFit USA. But this is Munchies. I am Maximilian Mormont, Hermit Coach, and we are MaxFit USA. And my boy Mikey wins on the 1 and 2. Whew. Cat. Best way to lose fat, not lean body mass. So how can I lose fat and not lean body mass? In the beginning, it's a little bit easier to start to see water, fat, poop, like just everything slowly get out of you. As you get further along, you can start assuming that you've already started losing some lean body mass, and then you're going to have to really start honing that in. So imagine that through the process of losing your first 10 pounds or first 20 pounds, you might lose 2 to 3 pounds of mass. It might not be functional mass because you might be really, really heavy set and have a lot of space to lose weight. However, if you start to lose weight rapidly, you can assume you're losing lean body mass. Now, again, if you are extremely large, or if you're in like how I am, you're in the 20 percentile of body fat, to drop to 4% in a couple weeks isn't going to hurt you. It's going to make you feel faintish. You might lose a little bit of mass, but if you do it right with lean body, with protein, with lean proteins and taking in enough protein, you shouldn't really lose a lot of lean body mass. Now, if you rapidly increase the intake of protein, you're going to have a digestive system problem, which in turn is going to affect your ability to store lean body mass and then also to burn fat. But when we think of more cardio, we immediately think running, biking, all this kind of stuff. And immediately we think that this benefits my weight loss. In reality, cardio really helps my cardiovascular system. So that's what you're trying to improve, right? You're trying to improve your cardiovascular health. Now, for weight loss, activities that range from low to moderate to high intensity, right? So low creates steady state. High intensity is anaerobic. And imagine that the heart rate trying to find its steady state will allow for you to burn fat. Now, if you start addressing too much intensity and you start attacking the HIIT intervals or even CrossFit, and you're going very intense for too long, you're going to have a big problem with cortisol, and you're going to have problems losing fat. And in turn, you're going to create stress in your system, which in turn burns muscle. So losing fat and not muscle becomes a science. And most people think I'm going to do more, and that's what's going to actually get me to lose weight. And that's not the case, because normally when you have to do more work, you have to eat more, and they don't pair it hand in hand. And you're only willing to really starve yourself so far before you break, before you start cheating, or you find ways to kind of load those carbs. And if you're creating stress through your workout, or you're doing a lot of cardiovascular training and no anaerobic or lean body or muscle mass training through like weight training, you're going to have huge problems with fat loss. Now, I get it. Doing bodybuilding sounds extremely enticing, and it is, because there's a way of doing functional bodybuilding. But imagine that a true bodybuilder is going to have a phenomenal diet, whether they're gaining or losing. They're going to do cardio for 30 minutes to an hour in the AM and the PM, and then they're going to do an hour to 2 hours of muscle groups. So average Joe, if you do 30 minutes of cardio, you got a great diet, and then you do chest and buys, you're gonna get great results. If you want to have a phenomenal diet, don't want to do cardio, and just want to CrossFit, you're gonna have phenomenal results. So there's a little bit of both. Intensity helps, but you have to have a good diet. And then same thing with bodybuilding, let's say, it will help as well. Now, if you get into the triathlons or the marathons, you have to address your fuel while you're loading in those hours or the mileage. And then at the same time, you have to address the weight training to keep lean body mass on. And then you have to address the nutritional intake on top of all that. So you're trying to lose fat, you're doing a marathon, you're adding in weights to keep lean body mass on. Now you got a huge problem. And if you're monitoring it all and you're seeing what the numbers are telling you, no problem. No problem. But if you're guessing, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And you're going to have sometimes with really poor results, and other times you're going to get some phenomenal results. So those are just some little tidbits on how not to lose lean body mass while losing fat. I mean, obviously there's a lot more, but it's a good start. I did have here that I didn't talk about, LSD versus high intensity interval training, right? So HIIT training. LSD, long, slow distance, walk, swim, run, drag, row, hiking, biking, stairs. And it actually is no running. It's like walk, swim, row, like very minimal heart rate, low heart rate for long duration. Very aerobic, helps to create a recovery system, and it helps your basal metabolic rate. High intensity works to like work to rest ratio, still adding in some LSD inside your program, you'll get even greater results. So imagine if I was trying to lose weight and I had a beginning client, I would tell them, hey, just walk 30 minutes a day and have a good diet. And then from there, I would tell them, hey, walk 3 to 4 times a week. Also, do me a big favor, train 2 to 3 times with high interval training. And then I would move them into a little bit more of like THR, target heart rate training. So understanding what high intensity is and what low intensity is, and then what moderate is. And then you can manipulate 1, 2, 3, light, medium, heavy of intensity. And you can do that with working out and cardiovascular training. And that's how you're going to get your optimal results. Cool. I'm glad I didn't miss that.
You said LSD, and I was like, "Ooh, are we taking a left turn here? What's going on?"
I've been down this road before. You know, I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about microdosing. Next thing you know, people are like, "Hey, you want an LSD trip?" Like, whoa! I got rid of my bus a long time ago. Jesus, what happened? I was talking about this book about what was what was that like the Icarus, oh man, it was about flow state and igniting your fire or something like that. And that's what I was talking about. I was talking about like, wow, it's all about ultra state of consciousness, finding your flow state. A lot of people microdose, blah, blah, blah. And I was talking to this individual, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, when was the last time? And I was like, I'm not a kid. There's no way. There's no way. I can't believe you even brought this up. Oh, man. People be crazy right now. The quarantine, the elections, they got people stirred up.
They got people doing crazy stuff.
like literally the conversation went that way, and I was like this, starting to touch them like, you got a wire? What the hell is happening? What's this is weird. But
Next thing you know, we got to do a GoFundMe for a bail.
Yeah, bail me out. We're locking ourselves up. Locking the doors. Saran wrapping the windows. Okay. So, my snack is some plantains. They got a little spice on them. Spicy chili plantains. I have about 20 chips, which is about 140 calories. And then I have a quarter cups of wonderful pistachios already peeled. No shenanigans. Quarter cup is 150 calories. So at this point,
we're at 310.
What's that?
We're at 310.
No, 290.
Oh, 150 and 140. Okay. I thought you said 160 and 150.
Easy. And then I'm at the 250 for the shake, because it's no. Yeah, it's 170 or 180. And then so 260. So 260, 3, 4, 550. 550. All right, a little mini meal. I got 45 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, and then I have 8 grams of carbs and 13 grams of fat. So now I'm at 18. And then protein 6. So 266, 267 total. And then fat, 20. This one's 7. So 20, 25. Ooh, mellow. And then carbs, 18. Plantain's got. And then so 26. So kind of a consistent theme. At night, I tend to try to get more fats in. And in the morning too, I do a little bit more fats and carbs. But I get the best results from fat at night, mostly because I won't snack. So it fills me up and then it keeps me from eating. Whereas the carbs at night make me hungry. So I have to be aware of those. The other thing I have to be aware of is I naturally kind of either intermittent fasting or intermittent fast, or once I start eating, I make sure I eat all day. And if I trying to get rid of the snacking problem, I move more towards the fasting. So then I know that once I start eating at 12, I'm not going to get enough calories. Even if I eat until 9, 10, 11 o'clock, I'm just not going to eat enough calories. So with the training that I'm doing, and I naturally can't get over 32, 36. And if I can get to the end of the day with only 22, 25, and then I screw up and I have a couple beers, the carb jumps up, but the actual caloric intake doesn't. And then I got to monitor how often I'm allowing the carbs to jump up. So I'm not allowing my carbs to jump up on my off days. And then on my on days, I let it happen, but I only let it happen after I've trained for a day or two. So Monday, no good. Tuesday, good. Wednesday, good. And then Sunday, normally I don't take any carbs in, but today I did. I took some in earlier, so now I'm craving some more. And then I'll deplete them later in the week, so that way I still get them down. Cool.
And just like that, I gained the name Cortisol Mike.
That was like the first part. But I know a lot of people, know a lot of people that will try to join us specifically. And they'll try to join us with training multiple times a day. And then they get worse, or they get beat up, and they don't understand that the schedule that they're running is affecting their weight loss or their performance gains. So even myself, when I start feeling beat up, I cut myself out of the extra training, mostly because I'm older. And if my diet's not dialed in, I'm not gonna go through that process. It's not worth it. And then same thing with you. You were working and you tried to add in some stuff, and then it started to affect your weight loss, and you cut back your workload, not your work, your actual working out load, and then you started actually losing fat. So it helps. And sometimes it's hard to swallow that. Like, what do you mean less is more? That program that you were on, that little study, was basically like a less is more program.
Yeah, it was we were stuck on, well, I was part of the group that was intermittent fasting, and I ate the same amount of calories, which was 3,200, as the people that could eat all day. But because I shrunk it in and then compacted my workout time from 7 to 8:30, whereas everybody else on the other side of the study was going for 3 hours, I ended up gaining more CNS capability, allowing my central nervous system to move more weight, but I gained like 1.5 pounds over 3 months. And this is under like a watchful eye. They were watching everything, like had to be down to the T. So
that might have also been from the lack of exercise, because you did less.
Well, I did the same amount, just in a short amount of time.
No, but like the actual training, the volume less, So like a West Side system. Well, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's the drugs. I'm like, no, it's the fact that they're good at doing 2 heavy days, 2 light days, 2 active recovery days. I mean, it is what it is. So, because they got a heavy day, RFH day, and then they got a speed day, or dynamic. They call it max effort. So, and I seen that work phenomenal. And all their active recovery stuff is like almost a true active recovery. Sled drag, scap work, hip work, stretching, move along. Yeah. Reverse hypers.
My favorite workout for a broken back.
Yeah, but it's crazy how people don't understand that. So the 2 things you said, I was on a watchful eye, and then I actually kind of minimized my work and specified it. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that the importance of it. Even when they come to train at the gym and they're coming in and they're getting great results. And then suddenly they want to do more. And it's like, no, just let it ride. If anything, hunker down your nutrition and dial that in even more, and you're going to get even more phenomenal results. So,
yeah, I mean, we saw that with Lauren. We saw that with Sarah, right? They didn't increase their training. They just got their nutrition right, and then they just started losing the fat, just shedding the fat.
Yeah, I was able to convince Sarah to do cardio. I would assume that now it affects her, but she's in that situation where she's a taller girl and she's going to actually keep some of that mass on her, but she's going to lean out. And I don't think in the beginning, that's like a lot of the guys now that we had. Remember the 6 a.m. crew that was doing cardio?
Yeah, all the time.
We cut it out now for what? 5 months? 4 months?
6 months now.
Right. And now I'm actually starting to see a huge benefit from what they did the last 2 years. It's going to start diminishing soon, but you can tell that they've actually, the last 2 months, they've actually recovered from being away from doing it, minimizing that work, and then maximizing their intensity in the workouts. So what I mean by that is that they were never able to go ham. They would think they were going ham, but they'd get too winded. And then now you watch them crank it up, and then you're like, whoa, okay. Okay, we're going to have to go back to cardio soon. So,
I mean, with that extra 50-minute run, that was already extra cardio already. Like, but a lot of people didn't understand that. Like running in and out of the gym, because we had to. That was like extra conditioning that no one really thought of, because your heart rate never got to stop or have a rest period during a workout.
That's just like our 800-meter warm up. It sucks that with COVID and everything, we don't do it as much. But there's times where if we run 800 and we train 5 days a week, we're running 2.5 miles just in that beginning warm up alone, let alone workouts. You know? And I know that seems minimal for people who run every day. They're like, oh, 2.5 miles. What's wrong with these people? But you add in the workouts too. Now you're talking anywhere between 5 to 10 miles a week.
Yep.
And that's what actually we were averaging, even with the little runs, the COVID 400s.
Yep. Without
being able to row and stuff. Okay. Well, let's see here. I guess I could go over there, but let's go ahead and finish it off in the corner over here. the dark corner. Ask Coach Max. Oh man, will I get bulky like some of the CrossFit women? That's fucked up.
Who wrote this question?
Damn, girls. I'm red. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys sent that question. So one, I don't really think that CrossFit women are bulky. You might be seeing pictures of them while they're exercising. And if they're in the middle of doing something like straining and stuff, they're going to look kind of bulky. But out of most fitness women, I would say that bodybuilders look the bulkiest. And then if I was going to go from there, sprinters get pretty lean and pretty square jawed. And then CrossFitters, they get pretty lean and they show those abs, the protruding abs too, but they are also too more functional. So it's not as peaky muscle and it's not as rounded. So, and most of them have water. So they're not below the 10, 12% body fat. If they are, they start missing menstrual cycles. I've never really been one that encourages that for women. Even in bodybuilding, I never liked that for women. Figure, I've helped a lot of figure women, and I've never really enjoyed the cut. So I know what it does to their hormonal system, and it does way more damage than us boys. But to answer this question, it is a very, very common question that a lot of coaches face. And even nowadays, with very, very educated people, or at least people that can find information online, that testosterone is different than estrogen, and that being bulky isn't something that you naturally just get. You have to actually work extremely hard at getting the CrossFit exercise, the volume, the tonnage, the nutrition, and then either the proper supplements or the illegal supplements. Either way, there's this huge process. So imagine you got to be good at functional fitness. You got to be able to do it 5 to 6 times a week, multiple times a day, 10 to 12 sessions a week. Then you have to have a phenomenal diet where you're counting all your macros and calories. And then on top of that, you are doing that for 3 to 12 years. So that should be problem number one. It's not going to happen. And I know that sounds really dickish to say, but it's not. You're not going to put in the work that those girls are doing to get that body type. If you are, then you'll get the body type. Then the other thing that I would say is, and this is going to sound real chauvinist, and probably nowadays I shouldn't be like that, but women are beautiful. Doesn't matter. All women are beautiful. The problem is when a man is in the room is dark. It's very romantic. I don't think they give a shit either way. If they're in the room and it's dark and you're out of shape and soft, they still want to fuck. And then if you're hard and bulky, guess what? They still want to do it. So, it wasn't too bad. that could have came off way worse.
I was about to pull my HR card.
They fucking canceled.
Where are we going, coach?
But the reality of it, if the candle lights are on, it's on. It's not an opportunity where it's like, oh, whoa, I didn't realize that was there. I'm out of here. No, it's like, let's do this. So I would go ahead and remove that insecurity from yourself. And then I would ask yourself, what is the goal? So do you just want to tone up a little bit? Do you just want to be fitter? Do you want to make a radical difference? You want to change your athleticism and your overall ability and your complete genetic makeup? I mean, obviously, you're not going to change your genetics, but the way you are now and manipulating your genetics you have to look the way you want, you can. And you have to be willing to do that in order to get that kind of results. And again, if you want to look like a bodybuilder, there's more supplementation involved. And if you don't want to look like that, don't stress. And if you don't want to look like a CrossFitter, then you're not going to diet and train a shitload. It is what it is. But mostly comes down to volume, nutrition, and supplements. And if you're not doing it, you're all good. Okay?
I think it comes down to insecurity when it comes to like CrossFitting, because they see these elite and that's all they get pumped with. But even the Gen Pop at our gym, like anybody that comes in stick thin does our regular programming, like say for example, like Little Wes. She came in a buck '05. She's 125 right now. She doesn't look like she gained any
No.
mass whatsoever, but her shape has changed.
Yeah, if anything, she looks better. Phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. She looks healthy.
Yeah, but see, she wasn't someone that came in and was concerned about that. And I feel like we're blessed that most women that come to us, and we're 55, 45. We're predominantly males, but we do have actually younger women. We're 25 to 40-year-old women, and we're 30 to 50-year-old men. I mean, obviously there's outliers, but that's the majority of us. And it's interesting when you look at our demographic, our women that came to us, even though that they're younger, they didn't come to us with that mindset of, oh, I don't want to get bulky. They came to the mindset of, hey, I want to get more athletic. Hey, I want to get in shape. I'm tired of feeling weak. That was like a Wes, right? She was like the Wesley. I want to be able to do these gymnastics, and I don't want to feel weak. And now she's a monster. The other day I saw her like cleaning like 95 pounds.
She did 125 or no, 115.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like body weight.
Just basically, yeah. She's
so and that's Jillian. Jillian was 105 pounds when we met, and then she gained 30 pounds and basically kept the same shape. Just became denser,
Yeah. So in the end, like ladies, if you come into a CrossFit gym, you're not going to grow muscles by just touching a dumbbell.
But that's everybody. That's everybody. It's not just a CrossFit gym. Like when they go to Globo Gym, they feel the same way. I'm going to get bulky. And that also comes down to the ignorance of, like, again, fake news, telling people like, oh, hey, you're going to look like a man. Oh, hey, you're going to get too big. There's lean and mean workouts.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you feel healthy, you feel good about your body, like it shouldn't matter. If anything, if you want to look like those Instagram models or somebody fit, you're going to have to lift. You're going to have to squat. Like even the ones that go and get like butt implants, it just looks weird to have a stick like a lollipop butt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Even then, those girls have to do like the butt blaster and stuff. They're still doing resistance training to get that butt up.
I'm thinking this new camera angle here. It's nice.
Oh, you like the in?
Yeah, that's straight on. Straight on's nice. Lighting's good. Oh man, I'm impressed.
This one's the only thing that sucks is there's no screen. So I find myself looking for you or myself. So like I know I should be here, but I'm always like, what's over there?
Just stare straight in the camera, pretend I'm there. That's what I do every time I do this. Just stare straight in the camera, pretend somebody's looking at you.
It's easier, but like also too, like if I have this stuff over here, I almost have to switch the screens. So then if I'm looking for like information or stuff that I've written down, and it's got the board right underneath it.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then it's got both of them right here. And then I can kill these guys. And now I killed all that auxiliary noise.
And there we go. We have a radio voice max.
All right. Stop messing around. What's our beyond the whiteboard? See, this is what I'm talking about. Now I'm looking over to see my beyond the whiteboard
right then and there. You're good. All righty, guys. If you guys didn't do the memorial for 9/11, it was a 2,001 meter run. So we did the big loop to cover that. Big loop is a little bit more than 2,001 meters, but just in memorial too. It's just easier to keep track that way. Then we did 11 box jumps, 11 thrusters, 11 chest to bar pull-ups, 11 power cleans, handstand push-ups, and then on the way back, just in reverse order, power cleans, handstand push-ups, chest bar pull-ups, thrusters, and box jumps. We didn't time this workout, as you can see. The modal domain is for quality, so it was just about getting the work done. It was adapted from a 9/11 memorial workout from CrossFit Bel Air. Originally it did have a row or a run for 2,000 meters, 2001 meters on both sides. And there are 10 movements, but originally there were 9.
Yes.
But again, everybody that did it on Saturday completed it. I was actually trying to look to see if anybody wrote notes, but they just wrote that they completed. So we had a couple: Q, James, Taylor, Pawhead, Randy, Derek, Kelly, Christine, Savannah, Jillian, Emily, Bobby, and Lily, who've logged their scores on Beyond the Whiteboard. But it was kind of cool to see the power output, though. Some of them are differed a little bit based on what was already logged inside of Beyond the Whiteboard. So like for Q here, he was ranked 1 because he was putting out 114,802 foot-pounds of force. And then he just moves down. So James got 1112, 361. Taylor with 1112, 098 or 089. Emily over here with 74,000 foot-pounds. Jillian with 97,000 foot-pounds. Lily Noe with 101, 944. It was a fun workout. Essentially, the classes all started on the same time. Our class at 11 got a little shotgun start. So we used the run as a warm-up, went in, warmed up a little bit, and then using that 30-minute time cap for doing all the work. And we just got as far as we could.
I finished it.
We did have a lot of people finished. I got capped at the back end of chest to bar pull-ups.
Yeah, you probably should have scaled it. I saw a lot of, well, you almost got out. I saw a lot of people at that like 30 minutes, like not even over on the other side of that handstand push-ups. And I was like, oof. But see, the workout to me is in reminding of September 11th. So for me, it was not about doing because technically the run in the front and the back, it's a row or a run. It's only 9 exercise. It's 911, and then it's 170 for like specifics, and it's 125, and the weights and everything has a meaning, and it's super important. And for me, the meaning this year was more so to remember the ability to help others when needed and finding a way to help others specifically when you can. And so I think sometimes we forget that we have to take time out to warm up and prepare ourselves, but other times we're not going to be able to do that to save someone's life. And I know that sounds real shitty in the sense of like we're warming up and working out, but if we can figure that out now while we're training, we will figure that out in action. And so that was like kind of the reasons why whenever I do a shotgun start, some people always think like, oh, Max is in a bad mood, but my group's been getting a little shit because they suck at communicating. But mostly that's how I do a lot of my hero watts, especially like the firefighter, like the hot shots and the September 11 workouts. I specifically set them up to shotgun start. So that way we understand what the hell they were going through as they were running to danger.
And on top of that, a shotgun start really makes you appreciate our long warm-ups. I definitely did not feel warmed up until about the first set of handstand push-ups. I was like, okay, now I feel loose.
I felt pretty warmed up because I'm pretty good about always like prepping the movement. So like with the box jump, I made sure that I did a couple step ups. I jumped to a 24 and then I flipped it and I jumped to a 30 for the thrusters. I grabbed the bar, and as I grabbed the bar, I carried it in a front rack to stretch. And then I just did a couple thrusters. I warmed up the bar backwards, right? So then I did a couple thrusters. I brought it down. And then I did a couple like power cleans with the bar, and then I set it down, and then I loaded it. I did my 135 thrusters, and then I went and did the other exercises. With the pull-up, I did some scap pull-ups, and then I did 11 unbroken. Surprisingly, the handstand push-ups, I didn't actually do any scaps. I just warmed them up. But I did a lot of actually shenanigans. No, that was the strict handstand push-ups. I did a lot of shenanigans. That was earlier in the week. I almost died earlier in the week. You guys, if we would have talked about the strict handstand push-ups earlier in the week, I tacoed into a wall last week. Like I almost asked somebody working out with me, hey, can you kick me out of the corner of the wall? I was like this. I was like, hey, I need help. Just push me over. Just push me over. I need help. I need help. Okay. So my rant. Chest to bars, but not chest to bars. Come on, man. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm coaching and I say, hey, chest to bars. And then I say, if you don't have chest to bars, I want to see jumping chest to bars. And then I see chin over bar. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. So it should tell you that a few things. You don't have the strength and you don't have the flexibility to hit your chest. So you should figure out a few ways of actually how to hit your chest. So if you lower the pull-up bar and you jump, pull, and hit your chest, like how you learned how to do a chin over bar, you could actually learn a chest to bar too. So you don't have to make a very easy chest to bar. You can make single chest to bars, and you can learn how to do that jump, swing, pull, double effort, hit, drop. Not necessarily the way you want to do it, but it's a great way to start. The next thing to learn is to understand that unless you train it, you're not going to get it. So sometimes you just got to swallow your pride. You got to say, hey, man, your time didn't really matter anyways. I mean, I hate to break it to you. It didn't, because you don't have a movement that we need, and we need it for flexibility and range of motion. So if I were to think about my chest to bar and proper posture or prick posture, I want to get this posture that I'm looking for, not this. And that's what I'm trying to get with a chest to bar, at least why I program it. And so therefore, if you were to do a hybrid, if you had 10 chest to bar pull-ups and you did 5 jumping chest to bars and 5 chin over bars, that's better than nothing. That's better than nothing. But just continuously training chin over bar, there's no bigger insult than the coach telling you to hit chest to bar. Nowhere on the board does it say chest to bar. It says jumping chest to bar, and you're doing chins. It's like if you were trying to test me, like if you were wanting me to yell at you for not doing it correctly. That's what I feel like that is. Like I ain't no bitch. I ain't going out like that. I'm gonna fight you. And I don't appreciate the way you're treating me right now. And that's kind of how a lot of coaches feel. And it's not fair to them to have to address that with you. And my favorite is when immediately you bring that up and you say, hey, it's a chest to bar. And they're like, oh, I thought it was chin. Stop it. I'm going to leave it there. Mikey's fairly fresh at the like constant coaching, and that's probably one of your biggest pet peeves, huh?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it when somebody is like, "Oh, I am doing a chest to bar." I was like, "You're not doing a chest to bar. You're not doing a chest to bar. Please regress down to a jumping chest to bar."
It's like the double under. It's the double under. Like, am I doing it? Like, no, if you're doing it. It's like the dribble under. Am I doing it? And I always want to explain it like sex. You know that you're doing it, right? you know that you're doing it. You know that you're doing it. You know you're having sex. There's never been a time in your life that you're like, oh, am I having sex or am I not? Right? I mean, we can all agree on that. We can all agree on that. So then, so then,
I have a lot of editing to do.
so then, thank God for live. So that being said, then you know whether or not you hit your chest or not. You know, I mean,
I mean, it's either the top of
you
your
know,
top of your chest or your sternum, like one of the two. That's your range.
I don't know if clapping after I said, you know when you're having sex, and you went. I don't think if that helps, Mikey. I know you were thinking of it as just the bar, but I don't think that helps my argument and what I'm doing. So, being very risque tonight. Someone hasn't been on for a while. So, or someone's super fired up right now. It's the end of season. We're at peak Coach Max season here. So right now is when I want the most. I demand the most. I demand the most out of my athletes, my members, everybody in August. And then September, we kind of, and we're a little behind this year, right? So we're getting to the end of it right now. We'll finish it up, and then it'll be basically mid-September. And we're a little like, well, let's say we're, I think, like 10 days, 2 weeks behind. And then we're back on it, back to phase 1. Coming near the end of September, beginning of October.
Does our I know we're going to be hitting cyclical training, but are we reverting back because they moved the open back to February or end of February?
We never actually changed anything, because where the open moved to was our other actual light unilateral speed work. It just moved to us. So like the February open was basically our speed power output. And then our October open was basically like our endurance hypertrophy, like right before we went into like GVT and extreme slow hypertrophy. So the transition is actually a good timing. And so it worked out perfect for me both ways, actually. Yeah. And I would say that Lucero was a great example of that, because both opens he scored extremely well. So, and then most of us did fairly well, that were consistent with the training. Okay. Develop a solid morning routine. Monday motivation. So for this week and for Monday, I would tell you to invest your mindset in developing a solid morning routine. And that would be mostly to help you physiologically, mentally, and also spiritually. Because if I know, even myself, I'm always feeling like I'm rushing, especially to get these things going at night. I feel bad for Mikey. I'm keeping him up. And it just puts a lot of stress on me personally. And luckily, I guess I have Jillian. Not I guess, I'm very lucky I have Jillian. And she's, even tonight, she saw me stressing and was like, man, dude, always with you stressing, just calm the fuck down. And I think that it's super important to have a very good routine. And the fact that we were out of our routine for a week, and then we kind of got on it for a couple weeks, and then we got off of it. Munchies is kind of always really a tough one for us at night because of the kids, the family. And then so getting into a solid routine in the morning is very, very crucial, let alone at night, right? So in the morning, ways that you can kind of get your routine to be solid is setting the alarm clock and making sure that it's away from where you wake up. So not by your bed. Only set 1 to 2 alarms, something where you know you don't have a backup plan. So you get up and you start moving. Create a gap, if you're not like me, where you have to actually work in the morning. So if you don't have to work until like 8 or 9 o'clock and you have that 3 hours in the morning, I would develop a very solid morning routine. That's something that I really, really miss. I'm actually excited that my kid is going back to school, so I'll actually get my morning routine back. The way my morning routine works is that I wake up, I get my breakfast, I do my coffee, I do a little meditation, I do a little bit of journaling, and then I go to work. At work, I obviously work, I coach, I do all my stuff from 6 to 8, maybe 6 to 9. And then I give myself about an hour or two to prepare my work day, but that's part of my morning routine. So, making sure that I look at my member base, I look at my usage, I look at my coaching, I look at my own ability and what I'm doing, and then also to our social media stuff. And so I take that time to kind of reflect on the day that's coming. But unfortunately, I have to do it after the fact. The day has already started, but that's because my day starts at 6 o'clock. So I'm working at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So if you guys don't have to work until 8, 9 o'clock, I would tell you to do how you're doing, either with a morning routine of waking up, using the restroom, getting some coffee, getting some food, working out, post workout, maybe reading, maybe meditating, maybe doing some type of journaling, and then going to work, focusing somewhat on work beforehand, and then going in. Your day would be solid. Again, if you could prep your day that way, where you were able to look at it, reflect on yourself, put some effort into yourself, and then reflect on your day, woof, man, you would be a big difference. All right, man. See you guys tomorrow, Tuesday. We're going to hammer him all week long. I'm going to keep Mikey up. It's time to work. Thank you, Mikey. I love you, man.
Back at it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Whew, it's hot. The other mics pick up so much background noise, huh?
Not so much.